And I found the one for,
Say it again.
there's one for the company also.
Okay. Mo, you show me a napkin. Hi, guys.
Oh, you live already?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to mute?
Make sure you're good.
To answer this question, I would love that. Possibilities. Thank you.
Someone needs to show us all this. Did you send it to John?
That's a good one. Keep asking those questions, guys.
Sure. So make it, you have to do that.
You want me to do that one?
No, I'm gonna do something else. You do that thing.
Okay. It's good with Dave, you know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put the voiceover over that part where it's just the camera was like.
Oh, I got you. You're going to move the... I got you. All right, Jeffrey, read that one.
Okay. Having trouble putting on width on my thighs. When it comes to squatting, should I aim for heavier or more volume to help this?
Okay.
So I was looking for size on
Yeah.
the squats, and he's asking about this should be for heavier.
Right.
It's
How to answer this one?
volume or heavier is the same thing, or volume is reps. What is the chance?
Volume could be a plethora of things.
Yeah, so because to me volume is more weight too. Okay, so should go heavier.
In
or
powerlifting,
reps?
you do volume. You do 7 sets of 3.
Yeah.
But he may mean that more reps than that.
So it just wants to get bigger legs. What can we do?
Yeah, it just comes down to really just all, the form that you're doing when it comes to squats and all exercises connecting, so it's not like, just so you understand, it's not one exercise that's going to make you, and you do straight bar curls. Now you suddenly have these amazing biceps. They all kind of play in, squats are great. Front squats are great. Belt squats, hacks, leg press, leg extensions, they all help get you better muscles and better legs. But as when you're training, I would always try to go heavier, especially if you're younger. Yeah, try to get as strong as you possibly can. And that's what I would recommend. And then, maybe you don't do the for you guys, the high reps on the squats, but you do the high reps when you go to your second exercise, the leg press or the inverted or the hack squats and stuff, use the squat a little bit more for nervous system development, which is going to help you build bigger body. Even like squatting heavy helps your upper body grow. It's a cool little process how the body functions. You know how people talk about, I think this is a good one. Let's go back to that. Where was that? So I would aim for heavy. If you're going to go for reps, I'd maybe after squats, go for some kind of high reps. If you want higher reps, like 8 to 10, do that on a hack squats or leg press. But just keep in mind, not only will you get bigger legs going heavier, but you'll get a bigger upper body. It just helps everything. It helps all the way around. And I love that Johnny's eating. I need a meal now. I need a meal. Don't you stop?
I finished. I'm a machine.
Finished?
I like it.
Did you have any carbs with this meal?
Huh?
Did you have any carbs on this?
He doesn't. That sounds foreign.
No.
Carbs?
You're speaking
Of course.
Romanian. He doesn't know what carbs are.
Yeah, right. So this is my
Yeah.
bison cheesesteak. Got a little wrap here.
Oh.
Bison's pretty lean. I like it. It's pretty good. Little cheese on it. Not too bad. Plus, I've been eating these protein pancakes every day, and they got carbs in them. It's got a good amount of carbs. I told you I've upped my carbs, so I didn't want to go crazy on them, but I've upped them up to a certain extent, so I can help my recovery, my muscle growth, and all that, and have energy expenditure in the gym. A good amount of energy expenditure. So when I'm doing that, I'm working out hard. I need some carbs.
I'm just smiling because I'm eating. I've seen my boy eat. I'm sorry. It just makes me happy.
Come on,
I
I
get
love it.
enjoyment off the little things.
I haven't got to honestly. I haven't got to eat too much today, so it's like I got to get it in. I got another meal I'm gonna eat after this. It's just been crazy. It's been one thing after the other this morning, today. So on the go, not complaining. Definitely just got to get it in though too.
We got to do that. We got to do that. I'm doing a 3 low, 1 high, and so today is the 500 grams of carbs today.
Oh my God, monster
Yeah.
carbs.
Yeah, it should be feel good, and
Ooh.
then going to some legs again tomorrow,
Wow.
and then we're off to Mexico City.
Woo! That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're going to the biggest expo in Mexico, so this will be a fun little trip down there. We're doing some lectures, so always fun. I get a good representation down there. They like the Titan down in Mexico, so that's fun.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's one thing about those foreign countries, man. Especially like when India and like all that, man. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. Like some of the crowds that gather and what they do. They bring flowers and like the whole nine. Like it's a big thing over there. So yeah, man, there's a lot of love. I think the sport's going to keep getting bigger and bigger too, as well. So I think there's just going to be more people that are going to be involved in the sport altogether.
Healthier and healthier.
Hopefully, we get healthier
Right.
and healthier and better and better.
So I was talking about this before. Well, you were scarfing on your McDonald's hamburger. Just kidding.
I don't even wish. I don't even like McDonald's anymore.
What- I know this is off subject, but I think McDonald's is giving Legos away,
Okay.
and I think it's you can make a Lego Trump.
Nuh-uh.
Like
I'm going to buy a whole bunch of them.
I saw something. I don't know if it's legit, but I think that's hilarious if they went and you go, well, you know what? We're going to go this way.
That's smart. Really is smart. I
Am
have
I wrong?
supported Steak and Shake.
might
one or
be,
two
right?
months.
Fake.
It might be fake.
It
Yeah.
might be an AI thing.
Oh, it's AI, man. Gosh.
Damn AI.
I think somebody's going to jump on that, and it's going to make a lot of people.
It wouldn't happen because he promotes it
He does. Oh, you did.
indirectly.
Is that where he worked?
He did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did at McDonald's.
Yeah, he did the
I
McDonald's one
guarantee
day.
That might be real.
But then during like his meetings in the White House, he'll feed, instead of having like a buffet of food, he just caters McDonald's.
Wow.
And he's got the Diet Coke button on his desk too. He drinks 12 of those things a day.
Cooked it with Coke.
Wow.
12 Diet Cokes a day, dude.
And he has
Eats
more energy
McDonald's like
than
a
I-
madman.
He
Like
had it on the presidential airplane. That photo of Elon.
him, RFK.
they're all eating it.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. No. Got the kids. I love that Kennedys are doing that.
There was a meme
Yeah.
that was like when you give the drugs to your friend to make sure he's not a narc.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, it was funny seeing that picture. And there was a movie they just made about him, and it was The guy that plays Winter Soldier in Marvel. I can't think of his name off bat.
Go for it.
But basically, it's a movie about him and like how he started his career and everything like that, and who his mentor was. And it shows him in the movie, like, you know, like basically taking phentermine and getting like liposuction and like all these different things because he was gaining all his weight. He's like, I gotta look thin, you know, I gotta do, you know how Trump is. It's just funny. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah,
fun.
Not my
He's
diet
having
plan,
so
but
much. It's crazy. He's doing, they all are. They're doing work, but just they're having fun doing it and stuff. It's
they know the game this time around. That's what it is. The first time he didn't think he was gonna win. And he went in and was like, uh-oh. Like, all right, who do I need? Like, what should I do? And these guys start talking to these guys, has no idea what the layout's gonna be, has no idea how the political game's gonna be in Washington. And then he gets, you know, thrown underneath the bus for 4 years. The next 4 years, they try to persecute him. And then now he's in the office again. So at that point, like, he knows like everybody that's pretty much bad, everybody that's pretty much good, and he knows what to do with these foreign leaders too. So it's been a short amount of time, but they've got a lot of stuff done. And you know, hopefully a lot more stuff gets done.
I mean, we're not even, how many months are we in since he got in? It was January.
He's not even, I don't think he's over. He's like maybe 115 days in.
But all that happened in the first couple of weeks, just
Signing. Yeah.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, like just.
You know what I really
just saw something which I absolutely, again, I'm nobody. I'm the Donnie-Kruger effect. I fully understand. I don't know politics much or the rules or all that. So I'm never going to preach about it. But I do like the fact of what Ronald Reagan did during his terms and how he helped America back then.
Of course.
And I see some of the, and again, it's funny. If he does it today, Trump, it's always bad until you put up the video that Obama was saying the same stuff
Right.
and these others were saying the same stuff.
Right.
So I get that. So let's remove that. I think a lot of people liked Ronald Reagan, and you know he's already done it. He did his thing, and he helped out. And I see that when it comes to schooling, which is important to me,
Mm-hmm.
because I got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid now. So I hope the schools are handling it and doing teaching again.
Well, here's the thing where it really breaks down with the schooling thing. So it's going to go back to the states.
Right.
So whatever state you're in, that's going to really depend on what kind of education your kid's going to get and what they're going to get taught in school. So this is really where it's going to be like, do I want to live here with my kid and have him getting taught this way? Or do I want him, getting taught that way? I mean, it just really depends on who you are and what you believe and what you want your kid to learn. I mean, so we'll see how it is. I mean, it's got to be better than what it is now. I mean, just stating facts of what he said, like it's factual that like we're the worst on the list of schooling, and it costs us per student more than any other country.
Yeah.
So think about that. We pay more for each student, and at that point, like they're in the bottom of the list for education. Makes no sense. I mean,
Was
at
it
that
the
point,
Japanese or Chinese that I posted on Titan's page?
Chinese, I think, was 5.
Really?
They were number 5 on the list.
Where, like, they have to clean?
They claim there's no teachers until 4th grade. It was Japan, right? Yeah, I did. There was I put
Yeah,
something on
they
Titan's page.
they hang with their family and learn that and like all that stuff, right? At that point.
It's that they take care of the school in the early years, clean, and do all that, and it's working together. And it just there's no janitors for.
Food themselves as part of like.
He lived over there. I wonder why. So, yeah, it's just the way that they. I hope America does. I hope we get better. I hope we get better in all this aspect. On I don't care your politics. I just want the kids to learn again.
Absolutely. I want our kids to be healthier again. I mean, even if you look at the, I mean, it's staggering. Some of the rates, like just for autism, like it's like 1 in 34 now or something like that. That's ridiculous as far as that rate goes, man. If we can get our kids smarter and healthier, we're going to be better off. because ultimately our kids are going to be leading us, you know, and at that point, like we're going to be old, really old. We're not going to be able to do anything, and we're going to be in their hands. And if they're not
Speaking of
smart,
kids, let's
yeah,
jump over.
and-
Your son was just written up in the newspaper.
Yep.
The old school social media is what I said, because that's how we grew up. You know, we had to be in the newspapers.
Yep.
And so, was that his first time in the newspaper?
Yeah, as a as a varsity baseball player, yeah. I mean, he was in it earlier on for like Lutz, because he was a home run hitter before. So at that point, like he's hit a couple walk-offs and stuff like that, like in big games. He's made some big plays before where, he's been documented like that. Last night, he absolutely shut it down again, man. He literally won his team the game. It was ridiculous. Star player first starts off, pitching the first inning, gives up 5 runs. Peter has to come in the first inning, shuts down the rest of the game until like the 6th, where he got relieved and they won the game. It was crazy. It's crazy. So, he got another write-up last night, which is awesome. So hopefully he just keeps riding that wave, man.
I want to jump and stay on this for just a second, because I think there's a lot of parents on here, and you guys feel free to clip this part and put it on your YouTube. But I think it's an important thing to see that Peter possibly can be a 3-year letterman, and this is the start of it right now.
Yep.
And there seems to be, there's always those moments. It's like something clicked, and he's really in the zone right now.
Yep.
Is the meals better? Are you getting him to do that better? Because we're talking about a kid that he's not just good, but he's also got something that a lot of kids don't have. His genetic size.
He's got genetics. That's key.
Right. And so what are we doing now, which is different than last month on nutrition and stuff? Or is it
I've tried to clean it up. I've tried to clean it up as much as possible. I don't think he gets as much sleep as he needs, to be honest with you. Even if I go and check on him every hour, it's just, there's nights where he stays up, where he comes home, he'll sleep when he comes home, and then he'll wake up at midnight and he'll stay up to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and then have to get up at 6 again. I'm like, Peter, you can't do this, right? Like, you got to get in this good routine of things. He's like, I can't go to sleep. I'm like, it's because you've taught your body to be in this routine that you're in right now. I was like, you got to break it, at that point. I'm like, so it's just a work in progress. Like, I think the meals are getting a little bit better. I mean, obviously when I go home and it sucks. Like, you don't want your kid to be mad at you because you're telling them it feels like a lecture.
Right.
But, he's like, oh, I'm getting another lecture. I'm like, you're not getting a lecture. You're getting knowledge. And I'm trying to help you out so you can be advanced past these guys. Even since he's been little, I told him, I said, when he was little, I was like, dude, you got a serious advantage, a real big advantage over everybody. I was like, I'm trying to put you forward, So, I mean, it's something, it's just, like I said, it's a work in progress. I just want him to continue to be better. And I think we're, in summertime, maybe we can work on it a little bit more, like, as far as that goes. But I mean, he's on the path. Listen, as long as he keeps performing,
yeah,
and he keeps getting better, I'm good with it. But I mean, I'd like him, to be the ultimate best that he can be. That's the point, right? You automatically already get gifts, and those people that have gifts, they can do things real well. But if they don't keep working on their talent or keep feeding that talent or nurturing it, other people catch up. And that's where really hustle beats out genetics and talent every time. That guy that's in there busting his butt every night, staying late, going to the gym, training, eating, just living, sleeping, what he needs to do, those are the guys you better watch out for. Because I've seen a lot of guys with talent in college too as well, which I thought they'd be MLB stars. And then, mess up because they got taken down by too much partying or not showing up when they needed to, it's just, or coming into a game drunk or whatever it is. There's only so many players that can do that. I know Charles Barkley talked about how he used to drink a 6-pack before his college games and go in and play. That's not something you want to do. Like, 1, you let yourself down. 2, you let your team down. So I told him, I was like, man, you got to come in every game thinking, listen, like I might be going in and I need to be able to do this for myself and for the team.
So just anybody at home, I hope this helps. It helps me because Peter is 10 years older than Titan. So I get to see, all right, what steps what steps worked, what steps kind of, and again, we're doing our very best. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's all we can do. Try to do our very best. There's no point not to try to your very best. Don't do the whole, well, you know, they're just going to do their thing. We get that. That's it. But we're still going to try to do our very best to teach them the right way to do it. In something which is great, a company called Magic Spoon reached out to me.
Is that with the salt?
Magic Spoon is a cereal, a protein cereal.
Oh.
And they reached out, and it was great timing because Titan eats 5 things.
Yep.
Consistent. And so this was a nice new addition to that. And so again, for you guys at home that your kids like cereal or like something, you know, Magic Spoon, it's a protein. I don't eat cereal. You know, I'd rather get my meat from steak or chicken or something like that. Protein, sorry.
Right.
But I do know a lot of people love cereal, so maybe that's something to do. We're going to try it with Titan. Maybe because I know that Peter has a sweet tooth a bit, doesn't he?
He does.
So who knows? I'm just
Even-
throwing that out. Ironically, that
No.
I said, hey, you know what? Why not try this?
I think it's a great idea. Honestly, he would get like these like you go to the gas station, you get like those ramen, those prepackaged ramen things that they have, and those are absolutely horrible for you. Horrible. No, I mean sodium's through the roof. I mean, they got a little protein in, but nothing crazy. And it's just garbage, right? It's processed, it's just garbage. But they actually have these healthy ones that have like 30 grams of protein in them per serve. So I got him a whole bunch of those. He was eating them. So I'm like, dude, eat these, please. One thing like I've got like is I've been eating the last probably week is those protein pancakes. Protein House makes it for me. I love those things. I love them. I do. I mean, if I get like, well, I'm in between a meal, like, all right, like, and kind of like, you know, I want something sweet. Yeah, I usually eat those, man. Those do the trick. And I'm like, it's a healthier alternative to eating something that's bad.
Mona does, and I'll send you this. She does the sweet potato pancakes, and it's 8 ounces of sweet potato. It's some eggs and a couple scoops of protein powder, and then mixed up and makes nice pancakes. And that's kind of our go-to. Similar thing.
Yeah.
Ours is probably a little tougher to make than relative to just pouring out and going. So this is another great trick. Tastes good. You're not getting ready for a bodybuilding show, so why not have a little bit like that? And then again, yours and my belief too is, yes, your protein is the majority and the major,
right?
But also have the carbohydrates so you can do everything else.
And honestly, that has my carbs. So even in the morning, like I've introduced like 2 of those with my steak instead of rice right now. And just change it up. Like I want to see like, hey, listen, how's this going to work out? I've been eating rice and steak every morning for years. So I'm like, listen, or baked potatoes. Baked potatoes are a great one for me too. I mean, rice is great, you know, to a certain extent, but baked potatoes have a little bit more nutrients if you eat the skin. So that's why I eat the baked potatoes. I like baked potatoes. But these protein pancakes, they've been a good. We'll see. We'll see how the body responds here. I want to do it for at least 30 days. And then say, hey, listen, how's it been? You know,
you keep track too. I mean,
cool.
I'll see photos of you, and then 30 days later, we'll be able to see just a rise,
document it.
50 to 100 grams of carbs per day.
Yep.
What did it do to the physique, your strength, your body, recovery?
For sure.
All those little things off of that detail. I want to play one video. How long is the video?
The moments.
How long is the video itself? Just the clip where she talks about which the study was. A minute? All right, let's play this, see if this works. Just 1 second, guys. I want you guys to see this.
Nice.
One characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years. and working really hard to make that future a reality. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. A few years ago, I started studying grit in
Thanks. No, that's good. That's good. I just, she's a bright individual. I follow a lot of her stuff, but just the point of view of everybody going, well, you're genetically gifted. You're this, you're that. You got the smile or charisma, whatever that is. And I love the fact that it breaks down, and we say this over and over again, is that it's the grit, it's the work.
It is.
And it beats the guys with the talent. It beats the guys with the genetics.
It's true. It is so true, man. I mean, it's crazy. And that's in everything. It's not just in sports. You got a smarter guy in the office, and he's like, not doing what he's supposed to be doing or not giving 100%. And you got a guy that's really, really just locked in and focused on what he's doing and really wants to move up and improve. Those are the guys that get promotions. Those guys that move to the top. It's always the hardest worker usually.
That video, I want to make it clear to everybody. I know that I'm a fitness guy, and John over here is a true businessman that's crushing it. But the research that she was doing was all aspects. The CEOs of companies, the athletes, all different levels. So again, for you guys at home that are watching that, it's grit. It's grit. It's what Johnny was talking about.
Yep. True. So true. I love that. That was great. That motivates me even more.
Right? A little bit, huh?
Seriously.
Yeah, right?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I like it because it eliminates the noise.
Mm-hmm.
This person's genetically gifted. And I've been around the greatest power lifters and bodybuilders and martial artists, and it's the guys that continue to do the work. John Jones lost all of his first year of high school wrestling, all of them. Almost got kicked off the team, or did get kicked off the team. You guys correct me on that one, but it's cool to see he dominates the UFC at the highest level because of his grappling, and when everybody's scared of him taking them down. So again, it goes back to, DC, who he fought and beat over and over again, was an Olympic wrestler. But it's John Jones. That's manhandling. I love that because it goes back again. You don't have to be the ultimate. It's the work ethic.
Well, look at the NCAA. That guy was the underdog in the wrestling thing too, right? That guy was like 5'5", right? And he took that dude out. I was like, so listen, there's always going to be somebody bigger than you, smarter than you, but that doesn't mean they can be better than you. Like, you can be better for sure. It takes hard work, and it does take perseverance. You know how many people are going to tell you, like, you ain't got the talent, you ain't big enough, you ain't smart enough, you'll never do this, John, ever, ever, ever. And then you're like, oh, it's easy to be like, I'm never going to do this. They told me I'm never going to do this. And you just walk away, and you never even try. So, that's what it takes, the guts to really believe in yourself too. I think that's the big aspect of a lot of people. They might have insecurities, or they might not think they're good enough. And at that point, like, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have the confidence to just go out and do it. No matter what anybody thinks about you, says about you, if you believe in it and you believe you can do it, that's like, there's nothing like that, right? That's like your own like motivation and fire, and just you take that and use it.
You win. That being said, let's jump into what can we do to help these people out today as they start their health and fitness journey.
Yes. Okay. So, obviously wherever you guys are at, Titan Medical Center services nationwide. So you guys, wherever you guys are at in the United States, we help you guys out. This week, we got an awesome special. It's our Titan Trifecta. Usually we only offer like one therapy. It's our therapy of the week. But this week, our Titan Trifecta consists of 3 therapies. And anybody can take these therapies. Well, most of everybody. Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, and ECA Stack Plus. The best thing about it is you're going to get a ton of different results from all 3 of these things. You're going to get great results from just one of these things. But the best thing about it is you save $200 on the total package. So for all three of these things, it's usually $690. If you order all three this week, it's $490. And what is ECA Stack Plus? Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium, energy, mental clarity, thermogenesis, to help you lose that weight, stay lean. The other thing, Hercules Potion, 9 different ingredients in there, from glutamine for recovery, arginine, L-citrulline for vasodilation and pump, lysine to build the immune system, NAC to help the liver functions, proline for collagen production, got L-carnitine there for muscle building, nervous system. You got lysine in there for the immune system too as well. It's a good one. L-citrulline, like I said the L-citrulline, right? L-citrulline, yeah. So it's a major one. Great for pumps, great for recovery, great for the immune system. And then Titan Complete. Titan Complete has MIC, methionine, inositol, and choline. It also has your B complex, B1 through B6. And it also has branched chain amino acids in it too as well. There's only 3, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And then you have L-carnitine to that as well. These can be taken at the exact same day at different times. You can take Titan Complete in the morning, right when you get up. It's a little injection, get you going, get the metabolism boosting, get the energy rolling. ECA, bam, right there. You can take it in the morning, or you can save it for the afternoon if you have a good energy in the morning. You take Hercules Potion before any strenuous activity that you do. So it could be a workout, that could be Pilates, that could be a marathon race, that could be you walking around Disney's park and being able to do it all day long with some endurance. These 3 things, all natural to the, as far as, all natural compared to no hormones. And like I said, everybody can mostly use these things. The only thing that might be out for some people would be ECAs if they have cardiovascular issues.
Okay. So we got a load. We got our blood work again every 3 to 6 months. Get that blood work in just to make sure that you're doing everything correctly.
Yeah.
And the world is changing, guys. The world is changing and moving faster and faster.
Yeah.
Make sure also to get your, if there is any issues, talk to the provider, see what they recommend. And then also if there's something that they see with the PSA for you guys, go see your doctor yourself. All right.
Absolutely.
So here's a nice little graphic.
Titan Trifecta, baby. This is a great one. Usually people order 1 or 2 of these, or some people order all 3 anyway. So if you are a patient, you're ordering these things, you can order it, get a $200 discount. Real simple, real easy to do.
I keep seeing a lot of people talk about Cialis before the workout.
Yeah.
Would Hercules Potion, something else, and PT 141, is there a crazy mixture for these guys to go get that?
Sure. I mean, you can go crazy for sure.
What would be
Hercules
something Jeffrey's asking me? That's why.
So, I mean,
He
even
wants
for
the
guys
extreme pump.
like for me, like some people, like when they get Hercules Potion, they do 1 ml. So 1 injection, right? For me, I'll do like 4 to 6. You're talking about crazy? Now we're getting crazy. So I'll do 4 to 6, right? So you're going to want to do bilateral.
Yeah. Are you doing like chest 3 and 3 or 2 and 2 biceps?
1 ml on one side, 1 ml on the other side bilaterally. So if it's like, let's say it's chest day, 1 each pec, and then I'll add, because I'll do some biceps or whatever, and there's secondaries. So I'll do 1 ml on the bicep on each side, and then 1 ml on the tricep on each side. Wow. So it'll be 6. On arm day, I'll do 4, where I'm just concentrating on arms. So it'll be 1 on each bicep, 1 on each tricep. You can do shoulders. I know people have done traps. People do legs. I really don't like injecting anything in my legs. I just don't. There's a lot of nerve endings and stuff like that. And like, if something does happen where, hey, listen, it does go subcutaneously or whatever, you walk on your leg all day. So it could be sore, and then you're going to be feeling that all day. So I'm not a real big leg guy, but I do know a lot of people that inject their legs. I mean, big time, and like behind the muscle type injections. So it makes her pop their muscle out even more. So it's just crazy on some of the different things I've seen from legs and some of the people that are injected there. Girls,
I'm sore already just because I know, like Jeff was the one that kind of told me, yeah, I did the chest. And I go, well, let me try that. And so I did the chest. It was sore for 2 weeks. It was so pumped and sore. I'm like choking myself. My upper chest was like this.
You had a show?
I was like, gosh darn, I can't fathom doing 1 and 1 and then bicep. I'd be walking around already.
Oh yeah. Talk about insane. And the one the girls like the most, like they like the pump the rump protocol.
Oh,
So they'll do 1 ml in each cheek. We had one girl, she was like, I need to be like for my photo shoot, like I'm doing this like thong bikini type deal. And she's like, I need the ultimate best. So we're like, all right, cool. I got a protocol for you. It's 3 mLs in each cheek. And you do top, middle, and under. And it gives it just a nice look all the way around. It doesn't look fake like a BBL or like a filler.
Right.
Just looks really good. Like they could literally do there and just do like a couple wall slides or standing.
will you
like,
tell them again? Tell them again because they're hearing this injection, but it's amino acids. So
Sure.
go
So
for it.
this is not like an oil, like an SEO oil or anything like that was used before, which is like an oil that would expand the muscle and then would stay like that. This is Hercules Potion. This is 9 different amino acids. That's it. Water-based. It's going to get absorbed into the skin or to the muscle, whatever you're going to inject it into, I guess, at that point. But you know, the big ones that play off this, we do like a pump the rump protocol, or even like, you know, it's like your pre-workout or pre-strenuous activity protocol. But the pump the rump protocol is usually we do 1 ml on each side for a girl because that's what they usually would do. If they want to go more extreme, they could do 3 mLs in each cheek. They can do top, middle, and then under, right? And then just do like some wall slides or some sitting, like, you know, squats or whatever it is. Standing lunges. They do, and this is very simple. Like you ain't got to go through a 30-minute workout. Even for guys, I tell them like this because especially summer's coming and all that. You know, guys like to make sure like when they take their shirt off, it's like their bar muscles, pull muscles, whatever you want to call them, right? They want to make sure their chest and their arms are looking on point. And at that point, what we do with those guys is like, listen, inject 1 ml. I don't care where you inject it. You can inject it in your shoulders, right? Because it works systemically through the body. But before you walk into whatever you're going to, drop down, do like 50 push-ups. You do 50 push-ups, you should keep that pump for at least 4 to 6 hours when you're going in there, at least a couple hours for sure. So I usually tell them that, pump themselves up. They keep themselves and they look good when they're going in. Nice, hard, a little veiny if they got veins and they're lean enough. And at that point, they go in there and they're excited. You know, at that point, they're like, all right, cool. I got my shirt off. My muscles are hard. You know, I'm good to go.
Does that answer your question, Jeffrey? He's going to do the glutes.
I'll do another video. I'll send you the video I did because I have the video of like when I did the protocol. Like I was literally in the room. We were like getting ready for this fashion show. It's cool. I don't want to do this. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go. Like bring that camera over here real quick. Right, bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm going to do it again. Very aesthetically pleasing. Very aesthetically pleasing. And not looking like fake.
Right.
Like, you know, like the BBLs or like some of these fillers, like it just looks too fake, right? It's like a dump truck sometimes, or like, I don't know, it looks a little weird. I've seen some that look really good, but I've seen a lot that look really bad. But
I don't like the disproportion. You got this amazing glutes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, that's impressive. But then the thighs, there's no meat for the thighs. And I'm like, well, okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Where's the mislead here?
Right. Or it's just too much.
Balance.
Yeah, it's all about balance. But this makes it look very aesthetically pleasing. Plus, there's no like droop. Like some of those like droop down. You know, it's like, I don't know. It looks different. I can tell from a mile away. And there's so many girls that have it now, or you know, fillers that are in their cheeks. It's just it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. If people want to enhance themselves, I'm all for whatever that makes them feel better, as long as they're not hurting anybody else. I'm good with it. You know, I mean, I think that's the world we live in nowadays, and I think we should be. You know, I think on the medical aspect side for guys, especially, I think it should be lessened to a certain degree. Like girls can go in, they can go get medical treatments, they can go get injections, fillers, Botox, whatever it is that changes their look, right? For whatever they want, whether it's their lips, their face, they want cosmetic surgery, cool. But for guys, I mean, we can do most of the cosmetic surgery stuff and everything like that. But like, let's say we want bigger biceps or we want to be stronger or whatever it is. Then it comes under the realm of, hey, listen, maybe that might be a testosterone, might be an anabolic androgen type situation that you're not allowed to do because of controlled substance. I'm not saying everybody should go out and take androgens or testosterone, but, you know, I mean, there are certain clauses. Okay. And this is a little peek behind the curtain, too. I don't think I've ever told you this. Pharmacies will give a higher dose of testosterone if there's a certain code that's used. This code is for actors, right? You see those guys that buff up and you're like, oh, those guys are doing something. A lot of the time they are. And they're going through doctors and they're getting the special code, and this code is given to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy will release a higher dose of testosterone. Talking like 400 or 500 milligrams a week.
Never heard that.
What's the code?
Nobody ever talks about it. Listen,
Jeff said,
what's
the code?
It's 30. I mean, for one pharmacy, it's a 39 patient.
That's
So like you right there, like the notes, it's like it's for a 39 patient, and they will let the script go at a higher dose, and nobody ever talks about it because no doctors want to do it. There's only a certain amount of doctors that work with these people. The agents know them, and it's just like anything else. Sports agents know them. I mean, this is happening even in baseball. Like Mo Vaughn came out recently. He was talking about when he played, he definitely was on PEDs. And he's like, it's so far gone now. He's like, and everybody else was, and everybody else still is on them. And there are a lot of players that are still on PEDs. They'll never get caught. They're never going to get tested because there's such a high inbringing of money. And I think it should be more socially accepted. I think that at that point, like, we should be able to have enhanced athletes. I think we should be able to do that for sure.
Well,
If we have enhanced athletes and everybody's on the same
the
playing
enhanced
field.
games. Do you know about this?
Enhanced games.
So
Because everybody
I thought
want to see action. Like I was talking, I think somebody yesterday, the other day, I'm like, what do you think if somebody goes to a baseball game? You think they want to see singles all the time? Hell no. Baseball was at its ultimate most hype when the home run the competition
Sosa.
was going back and forth with Sosa McGuire.
Mark.
That was the highest point in watching in baseball. Everybody wants to see home runs. Everybody wants to see strikeouts and big plays. And that's why the NBA is lacking where they're at now. Their viewing is underneath the water. It's because nobody wants to see everybody shooting three-pointers. Nobody can see. Everybody wants to see dunks. They want to see action, right? Like that's totally taken away from the game. The game has totally changed in basketball. Like if you watch it, like I used to be able to watch a lot of games. Now I'll sit down, man, I don't want to watch this. It's either load management. So your favorite player might not play that night because he's already played so much this week. And that never happened before, ever. I have this debate with Drew all the time, right? About Jordan versus LeBron. I'm like, LeBron wouldn't hold. I like LeBron. I don't like LeBron personally. I like him as a player. I think he's really good. Do I think he's even in the realm of Michael Jordan? Absolutely not. Michael Jordan played when he's sick. He played every game. He didn't care. There was, I'm not going to. No, hell no. He didn't quit. He didn't walk off the court. He didn't do anything like that. So, I mean, the game has totally changed in a lot of ways. I mean, in basketball, we have this conversation all the time. Like, it used to be a tougher sport. You went in the lane, you were getting put down. You go in the lane now, you can take 7 steps now and not be called for traveling and dunk the ball. It's a totally different game. I think sports in general. So I would like to see enhanced sports. I know a lot of NBA players that aren't TRT. A lot of them. Certain sports, this is another thing. If you get a note from a doctor that says you need this, they will allow you to take the PED. So there are players that are on these different hormones. It's just not publicized. There are different reporters. Okay, so Tim Grover is one of my good friends. Tim Grover was Michael Jordan's trainer. He was Kobe Bryant's trainer, right? And Tim Grover called me up. He called me up, I don't know, it was probably like 3 or 4 months ago. And he says, listen, John, he goes, there are these reporters that are offering $1 million to find out who these players are taking this. He's like, if you're supplying these guys, he's like, I'd stop. I'm like, well, I'm not supplying them, Tim, so it doesn't matter for me. But there are a lot of players taking PEDs. I mean, it is what it is. You play the game of, they really got to know that you're going to test them. And they're not going to cut their throats either if they're going to put their face out there. And the only reason they're going to do that is if somebody has them dead to rights.
Well, Magazine Dreams just came out, and it's a very heavy-based movie. It's set in the bodybuilding health fitness industry, and I see a lot of responses. A lot of bodybuilders are talking about it's very emotional, and doesn't paint it as a pretty picture. And I don't know that a movie like that would. It's you know, it's a harsh reality of trying to be the very best in the world. There's a route to that. Now, this is something I believe, and I think Johnny's with me on this, is that you don't need to do what the extreme people do.
Definitely not.
And you really don't have to do it if you're healthy and you're young.
Right.
And so even though Johnny knows a lot of these people, and I grew up in this industry,
Yeah.
it's like there's a smart way to make sure that your body's functioning well. And if it's functioning well, I even disagree with these actors if they do a large amount. I don't think they have to. If they can just regulate the body, make sure it's working, make sure that their T levels are working at a good position.
Yep.
And then you don't have to do what these bodybuilders that talk about they're going up to 500 a week and stuff. It's like,
Honestly, man, 500 is low for a bodybuilder. I hear anymore. It's usually in the grams now. It's 1 to 2 grams.
So big to what needs to be done for your body to be functioning at a high level. So there's that for majority. Again, I'm talking majority again. It's like to get your body working properly and healthy doesn't take the whole farm.
I agree.
You still got to do the other stuff, the nutrition, the training, the sleeping and eating and stuff. But if you go that route, it takes you down a way that it's hard to come back. I just worry about those youngsters. I worry about any youngster doing it. That's working right. Again, I fully understand there's going to be the one individual that's 25, which we know a lot of these kids are 25 and their T levels are 200.
Right.
Don't live that way.
Right.
Go in, Dr. Titan Medical, get that taken care of.
Definitely.
That's one thing that I said that I got a couple 30-year-olds that train with me, and their T levels are low, but their free testosterone are terrible. And they're like, well, where am I going? I'm like, you're 32.
Right.
And you're visually in great shape, but you're moving like a tortoise. There's no energy. There's no life to you. There's no go over to Titan Medical. Make sure that you have your dog on the because that's the best thing. That you see the little one behind you. It's awesome.
Yeah, I got her behind me, and I got the other one on the other side. I got Sasha on the left.
I love that. So how do you try to talk to these kids that want to go extreme when just a little bit would help?
So we're talking about kids. You're talking about the 25-year-olds and stuff like that.
Yeah, the 25 and 30-year-olds.
So listen, I tell them, I'm like, listen, obviously, push your genetics. If you have great testosterone levels at that point, don't mess with them. I'm like, you gotta put in the work. And I was like, I don't care how much testosterone or androgens you take, you're only gonna grow so much. And at that point, like, you're gonna be putting like a lot of harm to your body, possibly your health. So what I tell them is this: I'm like, listen, it's all about quality and not quantity. So I'm like, you could do a lot with 200 milligrams. You could do a lot with 300 milligrams. There's no reason to do more than that. Your levels are going to be 1,500 above, right? That's optimal. And then at that point, like, the real work comes in with training and eating and sleeping. Like, that's the real work. The testosterone or the drugs, whatever you want to say, that's there for like to help your body recover faster, muscle synthesis, protein, like that will help that for sure. It's going to help improve some aspects, but it's a tool. It's not a crutch. So at that point, you got to utilize it as that. If your body really needs it, then you need it, right? If you're a 25-year-old kid and you come back at a 200, there's a problem with that, and that needs to get fixed. But if you're a 28-year-old and your testosterone level is naturally like a 900 and your free's really good, don't mess with that. Like, you'll never get that back. So if you're ready to say goodbye to that and you're ready to get on the train for the rest of your life of injecting or whatever it is, then get ready, because that's going to be the ride. And I tell people all the time, like, because they're like, oh, well, when I start, do I have to stay on it for the rest of my life? I'm like, no, of course not. But when you get off, you're going to go back to where you're at or lower, and you're going to feel like that or worse. So it's really up to you at that point. So messing around with something, as far as testosterone levels, if you don't need to, I would definitely recommend not doing that. If you need it, I would definitely recommend to do it. it's a game changer if you need it, especially because you're going through all these problematic issues, maybe like low libido, you have no energy, you can't recover properly, sleep problems, fat deposits on the body. I mean, there's different things. Depression, that's a big one. And I know some guys that there's this guy that comes to us. He works out really hard. He's got a 200 as far as testosterone. He does not want to take testosterone. But he's like, why am I not getting the results? And I'm like, dude, he's like, I'm eating, I'm training, and I can't get any progress. I'm like, dude, your levels are really low. I'm like, clinically deficient low. I'm like, why don't I want to take testosterone? I'm like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, it's really, because it ain't up to me. It's really up to the person. Like, do you want to feel like this? And do you want to feel like you're not getting anything out of the work that you're putting in? Because you're putting a lot of work in. You want to feel better, but you're not able to with what you're doing. I'm like, that's where,
What's the psychology there? Where's the psychology? Because I don't understand. If
it's steroids.
Okay, I get the concept.
That's what it is.
He goes to the doctor. The doctor says, you have high cholesterol. You got this. We need to break that up. Here's whatever they're going to do for him. He's going home and he's taking that. You got something going on with your heart. You got high blood pressure.
Right.
The doctor you're instantly doing what the doctor says. You got high blood pressure. Here's the blood pressure medicine. Take this. Guy's home doing it. So testosterone runs in the body.
Yep.
Not for everybody in the sense of it works perfect. Some people, especially in today's world, it seems like everybody's low. But my point is, you got somebody who specializes in this for you guys, and you say, hey, this is what's going on. Now you're causing problems. You got now this is going to probably cause issues even beyond. I get your energy is low, you're 200. So how do you explain to them going, we're not making you a bodybuilder. We're making you healthy.
That's the first thing I tell people. I'm like, listen, I go, because they look at the page and whatever, and they might think it's all bodybuilders. I'm like, it's not all bodybuilders. I'm like, literally, like, probably my population for patients or bodybuilders maybe 15%, 20 with all athletes involved. So at that point, I'm like, it's not the bodybuilder that comes to me because we don't give extreme doses. It's the everyday person or the executive or whoever it is that just wants to feel good. They want to look good. They want a better quality of life. They want to perform better in the bedroom, right? Or they want to get lean body mass or lose weight. And that's what I describe to them. And I tell them, I'm like, listen, I'm like, everybody has, when people say steroids, because I get these comments all the time, right? Steroids, you guys are steroids, steroids. I'm like, listen, I'm like, if that's the case, you got steroids in your body. She's got steroids in her body because we all produce testosterone, and that's an anabolic steroid. So, yeah, it's not coming from an outside source, but your body ain't producing it anymore, or it's producing very little of it. And you were feeling this. It'd be like, just like you said, it's like anything else. If it was a cholesterol medication, and they told them to take it, blood pressure medication, depression medication, SSRIs, they're going to take it without even blinking an eye. I think a little bit more people are more educated now. They go Google it now. But like, if your testosterone is low, then you want to do this. But here's the other challenge is talking them about debunking these myths that have been ongoing for so many years. And now we finally know that these are not factual. These are lies. Okay. And just like right now, like on testosterone, there used to be a black warning label that said it would give you a heart attack. You'd be at a high risk, right? Stroke, heart attack, cardiovascular disease. They've removed this label from testosterone now.
Yeah.
The FDA did. But there wasn't no big press release from the FDA saying, hey, look, we found out that testosterone's not bad for you. It's actually beneficial for you, right? At healthy doses. I'm not saying if you take a gram or 2 grams, that's healthy, because it's not. You're just overdoing it, right? But at a regular medical dose and getting you to an optimal healthy level, like that's doing more for you. It's not going against you. But it's got to be done properly too, because if you're not balancing hormones along with testosterone, then you could be doing yourself a disservice, or the doctor's doing you a disservice. And that means that when you inject testosterone, take it from outside source, whatever it may be, hormones convert into other hormones. And I always talk about how it converts into estradiol or DHT. Those are main two that you're really going to look at.
Right.
And at that point, making sure that those things are fine too. But once you're locked into that dose and it's all good blood wise, and then now you're feeling better, if you're consistent with the dose, then you're always going to feel like that and have that good feeling. If you're not, then you're going to be like up, down, up, down, up, down. And you don't want that either. You got to be consistent.
Going to this one then, because this is
Sure.
interesting.
All right. So it says been on TRT for 6 months. Before the levels were 480, on TRT 820. Not feeling a difference. How is it possible? Is it even worth continuing? Absolutely. Now, here's my question to you, Retel, is different labs have different reference ranges. And I'll give you an example where LabCorp is 264 to 916, Quest is 350 to 1100. Okay. So if we're talking about a LabCorp one, that's pretty good. If we're talking about a Quest one, decent, it's 400-point jump, a little bit underneath. Can you be a little bit higher? Maybe. The other thing is, have you checked your estradiol? And then we need to go one more step further. The other step would be this. If testosterone and estradiol, free testosterone, total testosterone look good, estradiol looks good and balanced, progesterone's good, what does the IGF-1 look like? Because IGF-1 does play another pivotal role, and then thyroid too. I mean, all these things play pivotal roles, especially if you're not feeling any different. Like, what are you expecting from it too? Did you have low energy before, and is energy not came up? Performance in the bedroom, is not helping? Or you're not getting gains in the gym and results? So answer those questions for me real quick, and I can kind of give you. But
Yeah.
There's a couple different variables there, but you should feel different. You should. But if you're just taking testosterone, I'm telling you guys, that only works for a little bit because you usually will convert. There's some people that are more prone and sensitive to a higher conversion too as well, and you're gonna feel symptoms again. So it's all about balancing those hormones, not just saying, oh, you're low on testosterone, here's testosterone, here you go, bam, there you go. It's not going to work that way. It's only going to work for a short time. And at that point, you're going to start feeling symptoms because estrogen might raise or something else might be off too as well, like IGF-1.
If you didn't change your habits, I'm trying to figure this out too. And I'd love this guy to answer. Were you eating well and doing the best you could prior to starting? And then this last 6 months, have you changed your habits to where you're working out more and stuff? I'd love to get that as well. And then if you know your free testosterone, what is your free up to? And what was it? Answer those questions. Johnny, would it, I guess, again, this is an individual thing, but on a majority, are they going to feel something with a jump or them starting this if they didn't change any habits, they didn't change anything else?
They should. I mean, like some people like here's a good example. A lot of guys have low testosterone. They get up because usually testosterone levels are higher in the beginning of the day, the morning, and then as you go throughout the day, they start lowering. Usually, and that's why guys come home from work and then they just pass out. Right? They get on the couch, they get on the chair, and don't even think about it. There's guys that just pass out randomly in public because they have low testosterone. You just seem to, right? So has that changed, or was that a problem? Because that would be a big difference, right? You should see some sort of difference in energy change. You should definitely feel better, like as far as more self-confident. If you're in the gym, obviously you should have some more endurance, stamina, and strength coming along. I mean, if you're just going back to the gym after 20 years, you're not going to be the strongest bull in there. But, as you're working and you start progressing, you should start being able to, be stronger and get some of those results too as well. So, yes, if you have low T symptoms and you start testosterone and you get a good dose and you raise those numbers, you should definitely feel a little bit of a difference.
All right, pull up another.
I'm getting off TRT after 3 years because I'm tired of losing my hair.
Ooh.
Can't take it after because it causes me depression.
Wow, great
This is good.
question.
This is great. This
Thank
is actually really, really
Thank
great.
you for asking this.
So this is obviously a big question for a lot of guys. A lot of guys don't want to lose their hair, right? And totally understandable. I understand. You don't want to lose your hair. You don't want to go bald. Totally cool with that. Finasteride. I would never take it orally ever. I have just to see how it would affect me. And finasteride, they say a small percentage of people get negative side effects. And one of the negative side effects is male castration,
Yeah.
right? Not physical, mental. Not thinking about it, not wanting it. I don't care if it's the hottest outfit this girl's wearing, banging this girl in the room. You're not even thinking about it at all. I mean, it was so weird for me. And I didn't even realize it until Cherie said something about week 3. And I'm like, whoa, this ain't me. So I'm like, I'm getting off this shit. And at that point, like, we create a foam topical, and it doesn't work like that. I used a foam. Mike used a foam. A lot of people use the foam. And that has finasteride, lantropose, and minoxidil in it. So that one's a really good one. But here's the thing with TRT, right? And so one, you got to say, hey, listen, what does my health history look like my family health history? Do I have male pattern baldness in my family? Did my dad go bald, right? Did somebody on my mom's side go bald? Because if that's the case, you carry the gene. And sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't matter if you're on testosterone or non-testosterone. If your dad's bald, you have a high risk of going bald too as well, okay? Finasteride is one of the only FDA approved medications for hair loss. Here's the thing: if you're on testosterone and you're starting to get thinning, you should. This is one of the hormones I was just talking about. You should get a DHT test, dihydrotestosterone. Dihydrotestosterone is the one that you look at for hair loss. Now you would say, well, I'll just take a whole bunch of DHT blockers, right? That's like finasteride. They have a whole bunch of DHT blocking shampoos that you can get. Topicals are great. I wouldn't take finasteride orally, like I said, but you need to look at this number. If this number is too high, then you need to bring down your DHT where it's in a healthy range. You don't want to knock your DHT in the dirt, and that's exactly what finasteride does. And that's why some of the drive is gone, right? Dihydrotestosterone is just as important as free and total testosterone, right? So at that point, it's something you need to look at. And that's the first blood test I would do if I was worried about thinning or had any problem or issue with my hair. That's one test that you would run. If you're worried about losing your hair, see, for me, I'll be totally honest with you guys. If I had to pick, John, do you want to be a bull, but you're not going to have no hair? Or you're going to be a beta and you're going to have luscious locks? I'm going to go with the bull with no hair. I'd rather be a bull than a beta. It is what it is. Now, some people might say, no, screw that. I'd rather just have my hair and that is what it is. I don't care what my body looks like. I don't care if I'm strong or whatever it is. For me, it's totally different. I'd rather aesthetically look better, feel a lot stronger, take care of business in the bedroom like I know I can, and be bald. It just is what it is. Do I want to have both? Absolutely. 100%. Nobody wants to lose their hair. I don't think anybody would say, yeah, I want to go bald. Like, no, that's not true. So,
Serge,
especially girls. There's a lot of girls out there. And then, there's different things out there, which leads me into, I guess, another path. But there's different things out there that people take that's over the counter. They want to keep their hair. I was just telling Mike about this earlier. I blood test all the time, at least every 3 months, maybe every month, maybe every other month. And at that point, I started taking a hair supplement because we're going to create an over-the-counter supplement from Titan. And I want to see how the effects were with it. Had ashwagandha in it, lowered my cortisol down to 1.9. 1.9, a reference range between 6 and 19. You don't have no idea. Low cortisol creates a whole bunch of issues too as well. Everybody's like, oh, well, lowering your stress hormone should be a good thing. Not like that. So at that point, there's different things over the counter that could be affecting your hair or your body or your health too as well, or even the way that you feel. So make sure that, you realize, because nobody in their right mind would even think about something like that unless you're in the field I am, or you have the resources where I can be like, you know what, something's off. I know something's off. I'm gonna run a blood test on this, and this, and see what it is. People have no understanding of that, or they don't even know that that option's there. So
Would you say? I just want to make sure these guys know that you go, hey, I would like to start TRT because it's bad. I don't want to lose the hair. Just know that the blood work is going to show Titan Medical where to work with you on. Okay, we need to do this, and we got to make sure that your T levels go up, but we got to protect your hair. So they're going to give you options to do that, and then you keep checking in with them. And again, it's holding you accountable. Don't just jump on and then thank you, Titan Medical. Have a good day. Right. Check back with them. Do your blood work and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm noticing. I mean, I'm keeping my hair, and you're doing this stuff. So there's other factors. So don't think there's no hope. There's hope for you guys, and that's why we're on here and talking with Titan Medical.
Absolutely, and we have things to help you guys keep your hair, grow your hair, or even be preventative. If you're even scared about it and you're going to want to start TRT or HRT because you're not going to feel like that. Lionheart followed up. He says, those are good suggestions, though. Maybe I'll get back on it someday, but I also want to keep my fertility for now. So here's the problem with a lot of people that are just getting TRT through a provider. They're not doing you guys any justice at all. And it's not your fault because you don't know. You have blind faith in the provider, thinking that they have the best options, and this is exactly what you need to be better. Here's the thing. If you're on with Titan Medical Center, you're never going to have to worry about your fertility being gone beyond TRT because we're going to give you a medication to keep your natural production going. So your fertility is still there. So your testicles don't shrink like baby prunes, and your testosterone doesn't get shut off completely. Your testosterone or your semen production lowers where you think you're infertile. You just don't have enough semen getting produced. And that is the main fact. Testosterone doesn't kill your fertility. It lowers your production of semen if you don't take an add-back therapy to keep that going. And with us, you would. So that's another part. The other thing is that, you said on here that, you had a full head of hair, and right after you started TRT, you started losing your hair. Immediately, when you have all right, well, I'm starting to thin, you probably contact the provider office. I would have, because I'd be like, hey, man, what's going on? I'm losing my hair. Like, what, is this normal? And if that provider had been right, they'd be like, oh, well, no, it's, you shouldn't be losing hair like that, especially at a normal level. Because think about it. If you do testosterone hormone replacement therapy and you're taking a correct dose, you're within normal parameters of your body. Your body is in normal parameters of those levels. That's why it's a reference range. So if you're outside of that, now you're going higher. Now this might be increasing free testosterone, might be increasing dihydrotestosterone too high. And immediately they should say, I need to send you in for a blood test for dihydrotestosterone and free and total maybe, and check it and say, hey, listen, what's going on? The other thing to this is that if you're worried about hair loss, what happens is your dihydrotestosterone starts blocking the blood supply to your follicles. That's what happens. So at that point, you need to, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there like microneedling, red laser therapy, where you can start bringing blood to the scalp again. That's one other thing that I would do. And if you're really worried about thinning right now, I would install a laser cap. A laser cap's not going to go crazy as far as helping you grow a whole bunch of hair, but it will help you keep the hair you have and extend the hairs that you already have too as well, making your hair look thicker too. So there's some different tricks out there that you can do, and hopefully you'll get your hair back. But listen, I've been following these studies for a while. They've got some different things out there where they can take now one follicle of your hair. Because usually if you go for a hair transplant, I've seen many of these in person. They do a couple different techniques. They do one where they cut the big scar and they take that piece. That's the old way. And they would do it, and then they'd sew your head back together, the back of it. And now they have FU where they just take the hairs out of the follicles and they place them. But with that, it's something that I've seen some good success with and bad success with. But at that point, they can take one follicle now and they can produce a whole bunch of follicles. And that's really where it's at. If they can take one follicle.
Hold on. Are you saying they're going to create a chia pet? Is that what
That's
they're
exactly
doing?
what
They're
they're
creating
doing.
like a
They've already,
chip
they've
that
already
they-
done it.
one, and then they manipulate it in some form.
They
And
can grow. They can
reproduce
grow.
it.
They can grow. They can grow them. Clone them. You clone them because what happens is when you get these hair transplants, like usually they can only use so many. They can only do like usually in the United States they only do like 1,500 grafts, and they usually take it from the parts of the hair. The donor hair is usually from here all the way to the back. These all are like usually like DHT doesn't affect this area. That's why you see a lot of the guys where this is all gone. Usually the crown goes first, then you start seeing the receding hairline here, and then they keep their sides and their back. Right? You see a lot of guys that looks like the Homer Simpson almost. At that point, like that's where they get the donor, and usually people have to go through like maybe 2 treatments of it, maybe 3 I've seen. Right? Unless you go over to Turkey, Turkey will do you like 2,000 or 2,500 grafts one sitting. I wouldn't go over to Turkey and do it, but a lot of people do. But at that point, like you'll need at least 3 of those. Now, every time you do that, you're taking your donor hair, which could make you thinner around your back and your sides because you're taking the hair from those follicles. So if they bring this out, hopefully soon, they've already done it. They've done it in Japan. They've already cloned them. They've already placed them in people's heads. So if they could do that, then that's a winner. That's a true winner, guys, for sure, 100%. And then let's not forget about stem cells. I've seen some really good things with stem cells, PRP too, as well. So if you're looking for, some hair revitalization in your area, PRP for hair loss is another good one. You use your own blood, own serum, and you're directly injecting the follicle areas too as well.
Any knowledge on hypothyroidism and how it can affect my goals in the gym?
Sure. So hypo and hyper. So at that point, like, hypo means, you're high. Hyper means you're low. So usually when it's high, thyroid can affect everything. Everything. Sleep, hair, weight gain, weight loss. I mean, it can affect a lot of different things. So the best thing I could say is one, if you're getting treated properly with the medications, and is the medications putting your thyroid in the normal reference range limits of where they need to be. If they're in the normal reference range of limits, then at that point, it shouldn't affect your goals in the gym. Like you should be able to do exactly what you want. If it's going unchecked, this could go against some of your goals, whatever it's trying to be, right? So at that point, like I would make sure that that's in check and you're good to go. And that's the one thing I tell a lot of the people out there, like there's a lot of people in the fitness industry that use thyroid medications like T3 or levothyroxine to manipulate their thyroid because listen, your thyroid runs real low, you'll lose weight. I mean, it is what it is. They start using it for sure, all these different things, but you can severely affect your thyroid permanently on some of these medications taking too long. Whew. Best skincare tips. I use cleanser, exfoliate a few times a week, a moisturizer, any other tips. So we have our Aphrodite serum. It's a really, really good one. It's got some peptides like NAD, GHKCU in it, and some other things. It's a really, really good one. GHKCU as a rub-on would be pretty good. I don't know if we have the injectable.
Is that back in?
The cream, yes. I have to check
cream.
on the injectable. That's what I was just saying. The cream we still have, which you can apply to the areas that you want to utilize, usually the face and stuff like that. Sometimes people will put on the body, but that would be my tips. Drink a lot of water. That's another big one.
Healthy
vitamin E
nutrition.
too.
Yeah.
And that's another blood test we can do. Vitamin E, vitamin A. I mean, we can really go. I'm going to make a vitamin panel for people that really want to check their vitamin levels because we can check all different types of things like that too as well.
Sounds like this person is doing a lot on the outside. I would make sure to focus also on the inside.
Blood work, yeah.
John, make sure to call over Titan Medical and see if they have the copper back in. Proper terminology for that one is called MK. Not MK.
Oh, the Aphrodite serum.
GHK.
GHKCU, Aphrodite serum. Those are good ones.
Yeah. So talk about that. Collagen. Yeah. Good skin stuff.
This one's good. I'm already ripped. I'm looking for something to make me even more vascular. This guy got my attention. So listen, Hercules Potion is a great one. That's going to do a lot of different things. I mean, especially vascularity. Now, you could go with a lot of different things like testosterone. MK would be another good one. Put on some size and maybe get more vascular if you're really good and clean eating. But there's a couple good ones in our tool belt. I mean, listen, even taking Cialis along with Hercules Potion, I mean, that's going to make you more vascular for sure.
Now I know you said you're ripped, and so if you are ripped, you should have some vascularity. That's where you get the veins and stuff. And on top of that, why isn't your picture you then? Why aren't you doing like a little Fight Club, ab shot there? I'm just saying, my man. You're saying you're ripped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get that shot up there.
How do you feel about melatonin when it comes to sleep? So I think melatonin is overly used and abused. I think you can use it in certain times, but I don't think you should use it all the time. Melatonin is a hormone.
Serenity. Titan
Right?
Serenity, hands down.
Tight
Hands down.
serenity for sure.
I
Tight
did
Serenity's not gonna-
melatonin, and your body builds up to it, and it's one of those things that you shouldn't always take it. And sleep, be careful about sleep and sleep aids. When you take these medicines that you just pick up at the store, these sleep aid ones,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to be used after a certain, like a week worth. So
Right.
yeah, just you don't think about those kind of things. Hey, I'm in pain. I'm going to take Advil. I'm not falling asleep, so I'm just going to take sleeping pills. Next thing you know, you're doing it for a year. And when I got onto Titan Serenity, better sleep, better quality of sleep, and I also track my sleep. So it's not me just going, I'm getting better sleep. I got research showing me, okay, I'm doing better. This is better for me. So that changed my game. Just FYI, anybody here, Titan Serenity. What is in there so they understand?
Sure. Magnesium, taurine, and L-theanine.
And it's
Great
ejectable.
ones. Injectable. Very non-narcotic, non-addictive. Works very well to help multitude of different things. So you can use it. One, if you have social anxiety, you can do half the dose, be out in public, and be very relaxed and chilled. There's two types of sleepers usually. One sleeper is the sleeper that can't go to sleep. They just stay up. They just keep counting lambs. The other sleeper is the sleeper that can go to sleep but wakes up consistently, hour after hour or multiple times in a night. And that's not good for you either because you can't get in proper REM sleep doing it like that. Either way of those is not cool. So this makes you more relaxed. You're not gonna inject it about like that. But you're going to inject it. You want to go lay down, kind of relax. At that point, it should calm you down. It should help distribute hormones. It should help relax you and put you in a calm phase so you can sleep and stay asleep. Red eyes after living heavy. Any positive fixes? Red eyes? I mean, people talk about red eyes. I think of like Graves' disease.
Graves' disease.
That's when they have those real red eyes. But I mean, that could be anything.
Yeah.
I mean, are you too much blood pressure?
How many times have you got cross-eyed? I've
vessel?
broken blood vessels. Yeah, I broke so many blood vessels in the eyes. Yeah, and when I won the California, yeah, by the
Clear
time I
eyes
was
can
done
fix it.
with my third squat, when I won the California powerlifting, man, my inside was all red. Yeah, but that's heavy duty. Yeah, it's broken blood vessels if it's to that extreme. But just red eyes, you're just holding your breath.
Yep.
Breathe a little bit.
Number one favorite exercise and why?
I
don't know. I mean, I like favorite exercise.
Hip thrust for Johnny.
Yeah. Real world situations though.
I'm gonna say squats for me. Why? Why? Because it shows me I'm still in the game, and I got time. If I'm permitted that time, that's why I like squats.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I like
His bicep curls, Johnny's bicep curls, man.
I like bicep
We know you
curls.
do.
I like chest too. So I like dumbbell flat. That's
Jeff, you filmed him. What does Johnny like?
Like
He likes the pipes. He likes the pipes.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, look at him.
Yeah, look at his pipe. So
it's an easy one. It's an easy one.
He looks sharp, man. Thank you for the question, guys.
Oh, that's awesome. One guy wrote on here, would Mike use MK677? Absolutely.
Would
He
I?
said it
Would
multiple
I?
times.
Dude, I'm on.
I mean, come on.
I love MK.
MK's a good one.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. I didn't even get to tell you about this. So there is a slew of different therapies I'm gonna start bringing out. I'm gonna be the rat for like 3 of these things first. I might even have you try one if you want to, Mike. There's this Sloop 3332. It's supposed to be great for like mental clarity, like metabolism, the whole nine. So that's one. The other one's is called what, Macmorelin. And Macmorelin is supposed to be like MK, another oral version. So I'm excited about that. I was like, it says on there, like on the sheet, basically it stimulates GHRL, which is the hunger hormone. All of GHR agents do that, but MK is the only one that really does stimulate that hunger, right? So I don't know if this is going to be like that or not. So I'm anxious to try it and see. I can't wait. It should happen in a couple of days. So hopefully when I do, I'm going to let you know. And then at that point, we'll see about implementing some of these different therapies too as well.
One more question for you, and then I want to kind of go over my next steps without taking too much more of your time.
Yeah, for sure. How do I come back from an elbow injury or do chest without it? Well, you're not doing chest without your elbow, right? I mean, even if you were doing like pec bench and you were doing like this, your elbows are still kind of going to be involved, right? There's no way around that.
Right.
But how can you come back from the injury? Well, that's where pentodeca arginate, which is BBC 157 and TB 500 come into play. These are going to be great for helping elbow injuries, golf elbow, tennis elbow, muscles, ligaments, joints, tendons. I actually had a guy in here. It was yesterday. He's got TMJ in his jaw. It was actually he got hit like by some bullet or something like that. Nerve came around here, hit him, and like something happened to his jaw where he's got TMJ. So he's actually going to inject. He's like, he was in office. He's like, is the owner here or whatever? And they came and got me because I always tell them like, listen, anybody who wants to talk to me, I'm good to talk to. So they bring me in the room. He's like, well, like, I want to inject. Where should I inject this? Should I inject this in my face?
Oh,
is that
man.
okay? And I'm like, well, you could. I'm not going to say you can't, right? I'm like, that's totally up to you as a user. Okay. TB 500 is going to work systemically. So it's going to go throughout the body. So even if you inject it, the top of your shoulder, it's going to work its way up there, right? But BBC is more site driven. So at that point, you want to inject closest to the site that's hurt. What I told was I brought him in a 5/16 needle. So usually the insulin needles we have usually come in a 1/2 inch or 5/16. And 5/16 and stuff like that, like you can do like Botox with those too as well. So that's kind of what I told him. I was like, listen, you can pinch your face because he was like literally right here. I was like, you can just go up right here and just inject it right here subcutaneously. I was like, try 20 units and then go up. He's like, well, do you think it'd be a lot and all that? I'm like, no. I'm like, and I just gave a real world example. I'm like, you've seen girls get Botox, right? They're injecting with the exact same needles and they're getting those units put in their face just like that. So they're injecting like 10 to 20 units in the same area and they're going all over the face and it gets absorbed in the skin. So it's not something that's going to be like permanent, like an oil-based injection where it's going to sit there and you have this big bulge in your cheek. So I was like, if you want to try it, great. So we'll see. I told the guy to tell me how it goes. I went over injecting sites with all different types of things, like between the toes, like crazy stuff, that you'd never think of. So at that point, like, we'll see what he says, but it's an option. But those are the best.
I think here's our last one of the day, guys. First of all, just before we go, thank you everybody for hanging out today. And I think this is a real important one because he's going into a competition. Congratulations. And for the person earlier, if you're sliced, this is what you should be doing. Throw that shot up there. But I was dealing with low energy as I was getting ready for this last movie. And these two guys, the Titan crew helped me out tremendously. So, Johnny, what's your recommendation here?
Sure. So I definitely wouldn't stay away from caffeine. Not going to do you any worse, like as far as going to competition. If anything, our ECA Stack Plus is what Mike's talking about. Real ephedrine, real caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. Not only is this going to give you the boost you need to get through and not being totally sleepy because you're probably in a deficit and all this, you've been working your body and you're down, right? Like that's how it is. This will pop you back up. So it'll give you energy. It'll help mental clarity, which is going to be a positive. And it's going to help you stay lean. So maybe you might have to lose another pounds, a little water weight, whatever. You want to stay like that. Boom. ECA Stack Plus is the way to go. We have different doses for different people. What do you guys think about West Side Barbell and the conjugate method?
It's great.
So our barbells are all right, you know.
He's talking about West Side Barbell and their teachings. I think it's great. It's powerlifting. It's the root of powerlifting or strength gain. Yeah, it's great stuff, man.
Yeah.
And I think the hemorrhoid guy is really trying to get that out there, huh?
How do I prevent
He's already got hemorrhoids.
irritating hemorrhoids when doing seat leg raises? Well, you should take care of the hemorrhoids. There's some creams you can get. There's some oral medication you get. Or if it's that bad, you can get surgery, get it removed. And then you could do your seated leg raises with no pain or no irritation whatsoever. And if you're sitting on the toilet too long every day, this is irritating your hemorrhoids even worse.
Yeah. We're glad we could help you out there. Yuk.
Please.
All right,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Thank you for hanging out, Johnny.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much, man. It's always a pleasure. I had a great time. Go see Magazine Dreams, everybody.
Thanks, Johnny.
Of course.
Bye,
Love
buddy.
You, bro. Love you guys.